So today what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch out these Cobra tail light assemblies for the factory ones. I don't like these. This is an LX car. I don't like Cobra stuff on it. So stay with me and I'm gonna show you how to do them today. One of the first things I noticed when I popped the trunk is that this panel right here has been painted. It was originally black. So I'm gonna change this out and go back to black here. These pop off, and I'll show you how these pop off shortly. I bought another set offline. What I'm gonna need on the back side here, and these are hard to get to sometimes. This is a 7/16 bolt nut. Nope, wrong one, this one. That's 7/16. You don't need to mess with these. These hold your bumper on. These are the ones I'm after, these 7/16 bolts. And what I'm gonna have to end up doing is put a pair of vice grips on the end and hold it, because it'll spin all the way through. And back these bolts out, and there's should be 6 of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And you see that one's already messed up, so I gotta fix that. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these out, and I'm gonna sand these down and paint these black again. And I'll show you how that looks here in just a second. So as you recall, I bought a donor car. This is it. This is an 88. Mine, the black one's an 87. This is an 88. These are the tail lights I'm gonna go back with. These have got a lot of stress fractures in them, or cracks in them. If you get close, you can see. I don't know if you'll be able to see in the camera right through here. So I bought a new set of them, so I'm gonna switch them out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you. I went ahead and took the old ones out of this one because I was gonna paint them before I decided to shoot this video. And so here's what they look like once you take them apart. I've got them held up, put up in here so they could have dried last night. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna repaint these a little, try to get them shiny again on the inside. That way it'll give it a little more reflector. And then I'm gonna paint the backside black. But what I discovered last night is this one has got a huge dent, or the plastic's been melted or something, where this one here does not. It's straight. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go take the one off the GT that's out there, or the LX out there, the black one, and that way I can have me a matching good set. Now back underneath here, this one, man, I'm telling you, it's been abused. I don't know why. We've got wire connectors here and here. What we tried hooking up, I don't have a clue. So I'm gonna look and see. I may end up trying to switch the whole wiring harness out to get rid of these, because I don't like these. I don't like the, I can't even talk about it. It makes me frustrated. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm reaching here and I'm gonna turn my bulbs loose, get them out of my way. See, that one's even busted. Look at that. That didn't work. Pull these and get these on out of my way. There's 4 of them. Just be patient with them, guys. Work them out of the way. They should have had a plastic keeper on them like this that goes over top of the screw, and you may have to pull it off. But this one's, like I said, this is in bad shape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have to put the phone down. I'm gonna set my pair of vice grips up and show you how I'm talking about getting these out. All right, so this is my first one I'm gonna do. I've already put my 7/16 on there. I've got a ratchet wrench to make this easier on me. You can see right on the very end of that, there's a little part of the bolt that doesn't have any threads on it. That's what I'm gonna hook my vice grips on. I don't wanna put these on to the threads itself, because then I'll mess the bolt up. So I'm gonna come right on the end of it and just grab a hold of it. And then what I'll do is I'll hold my vice grips with one hand and turn my wrench with the other. That holds my bolt free. Now it's holding itself enough that I can just show you what I was talking about. See how the bolt's not turning, the bolt's not, but my nut is. So that way I can just go ahead and back that on off. It'll get to the point where it gets really easy. I just take the vice grips off out of the way, and it should go ahead and come on off just like this. Therefore it's not spinning the bolt. What it has, and I'll show you on these, it's threaded into plastic. So if you pull on this and that bolt's bound in, all you're gonna do is unscrew it from the actual assembly itself. This is what I was talking about, how they're double-sided like this. They got coarse threads on one side and fine threads on the other. The coarse screws down into the plastic. Unfortunately, I noticed that this one here is broke. I'm gonna see if I can fix that. I don't like it because I need this one, because this is not all bent up like the other one I showed you a second ago. I'm still beside myself with all what I'm seeing as far as wires. It looks like I had an issue with maybe a brake wire working, and instead of actually fixing it, they ran a wire from one side to the other side. So I'm not exactly sure. So I think I'm gonna see about changing that whole harness out, like I said, since I got a parts car. But back to this. So if you have this, what I'm gonna do now is that if you look, there's a little piece right here where like a self-starter. I'm gonna put my vice grips on here so that way I'm not messing the threads up here, but I'm gonna grab it right here on the end, and that way I can back the nut out. And this is what I'm talking about, how I've got it there. So now I can hold on to that, put my wrench on the back side, or to do one-handed. But you see, you get the idea. What I'm gonna have to do is hold the wrench with the vice grips with one hand and turn the wrench with the other and get that nut off. Okay, so here we are back in the garage. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this lens apart like I showed you I would, and then I'm gonna take it over and pressure wash it, get all the dirt off of it before I clean them up and paint them. And I'm gonna show you, like I said, we're gonna go through this together. But the way this goes apart on this, and you can, like I said, you see where it's chipped. It's already been painted once before, so that's fine. But all you need to do is find your screwdriver and put down here in this gap and just give it a little turn. Just work it out. Just see how the gap's getting bigger already? Just work that gap out. And eventually, what it is, it's got some metal clips on the back side of it they'll just release. See if I can get you where you can see. You're gonna get it to where it's enough that you can stick your finger inside there and pull it. So let me put the phone down and I'll show you. It's gonna be a little hard to do holding the phone, but as you see, as I'm starting to pull that gap apart, it's got a little bit of weather stripping inside there, you can see. So what you're gonna do is just put one hand on one side, one hand on the other, and just pull it apart. Like I said, if I break the lens here, I'm not worried about it because I'm getting rid of them. I don't want to damage this piece. This is the piece I'm keeping. So I'm gonna pull that apart, I'm gonna go pressure wash it, and then I'll be back in to show you how to clean them up. I figured while I was at it, why not just go ahead and show you. So here it is, I pulled it apart, I'm gonna let it drop, because like I said, I don't care. Since I'm doing it one-handed, there's my weather stripping that's holding it. I'm gonna redo all of that. So then here's the piece. I'm gonna take around and pressure wash, get all this dirt out of it, clean all this up, clean up that weather stripping. I bought some more weather stripping to put in it, and we'll put it back together. So this is one that's off of the donor car. It was black, so I'm gonna keep it black. This is the part that I'm painting black. But inside here, and maybe it's just me, but this didn't look very reflective, very shiny. So what I did is I went and bought some chrome paint. I'm gonna paint these. So what I did was I took a piece of Brillo pad, one of these right here. I cut it down and I scuffed it up some. You can see my little marks inside there. I'm gonna wipe that down, and then I'm gonna spray paint it with this chrome right inside these 3 windows, or 4, and we'll get that 4th one as well. That way maybe it'll make it reflect a little better. So let's wipe them down and spray them. So I've got it wiped down. Like I said, this is just some colored chrome I found. I should have went to like Walmart, but instead I went to the local part place and got it. This was kind of expensive, but hopefully it'll do what I want to do. So let's see what it looks like. So this is one coat. I don't know if my shadow is gonna be too much. Let's see if I can spray it and do it at the same time. I don't know if it's gonna be shiny enough, but it looks better than what it did. And you see this crack molding right here. I'm gonna pull that out and replace that. But that looks pretty good for a first coat. We'll shine it up and see what happens again and let it dry. All right, so it's been a few hours now. I've been sidetracked. I've put a blower motor in a car. I've done air conditioning on the car. I fixed a turbo on one, so it's just been a couple hours, but here they look different now. I got them painted, they're dry. I'm gonna start putting them back together. So what I'm gonna do with this one, because this one's already clean, I'm gonna go ahead and go get my weather stripping caulk that I got, bead me a line all the way around it, and I'm gonna pop it back together. I'll show you how it'll look here in just a second. So what I use to make my gasket is black super weather stripping gasket adhesive. That might not be what I wanted it to be. I may have misread that, but it should stick it, so that way it'll make it real sticky inside there, so it'll stick up, so it'll make it watertight. Is what I want. So and then here's my new lens that I bought. I bought these off Amazon, and it's just gonna pop right back in place. I'll show you here in just a minute. Again, all I'm trying to do with things one-handed. I don't want to mess it up. I just put it on top of it, lined everything up and pressed it down. Seams look good. It's pulled tight. That's gonna look really good, I think. Now what I did is I took a brush and just cleaned all the dirt up around in here so that way I can put my lenses back on, and I'll put them back on the same way I took them off. I made sure the rubber bushings or grommets or whatever you want to call them are back here. Just line them back up with the holes. As you see, put it right back in place. That's going to make that look a whole lot better than it did. All right, so what I did was I was able to go in and tighten all the bolts back up with my 7/16, remember? What I did was I used a ratchet, I put them on, and then I did with just my finger, just my 2 fingers is all I did until it got tight. Stop. Right? It's plastic, there's no reason to break it. Like I said, it looks a whole lot better, just that. So I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side, and then I'll show you a complete thing, or a complete, what it looks like when it's done, and then that'll be the end of this video. All right, so there they are. Got them both on. Got them looking pretty good. I think they look a whole lot better than the other one. It took some patience, guys. Again, just be patient while you're doing things, and have fun with it. Thanks for watching.